committee is commencing a briefing on the topic of poultry and egg compensation. La réunion d'aujourd'hui.
Today's meeting is taking place in hybrid format pursuant to the House Order adopted on the 23rd of September 2020. Proceedings will be made available via the House of Commons website. So you're aware the webcast will always show the person speaking rather than the entirety of the committee. To ensure an orderly meeting, I would like to outline a few rules to follow. Members and witnesses can speak in the official language of their choice. At the bottom of your screen, you have the choice between the floor, English or French. And before speaking, please wait until I recognise you by name. And a reminder that all comments by members and witnesses should be added through the chair. And make sure that when you're not speaking, your mic is on mute.
I would like to note that the minister will appear with us for 1 hour. Then we will proceed to our scheduled committee business. With that, we are ready to begin. On that, I'd like to say that I believe, Madame la Ministre, that you are hard stop at 5:45. So we'll try and respect that. Alors, Madame la Ministre, bienvenue.
So, Madam Minister, welcome once again to our committee. We're very proud to have you here today. And so without further ado, I will give you the floor for your opening speech. Thank you, Chair. It's a real pleasure to see you after around 10 days, I think. And today I'm accompanied by the Associate Deputy Minister, Annette Gibson, and also Colin Barnes from the CFIA, Canadian Food Inspection Agency. First of all, I'd like to thank the committee for their hard work and their dedication towards the agricultural sector. I'd also like to thank you for having launched a dialogue on our poultry and egg farmers who are all working very hard, and also for having launched dialogue on our supply management system. The government has clearly shown its full support to the poultry, egg and dairy product farmers by paying compensation of $2.7 billion in compensation for the impact of CETA and the CPTPP. For dairy producers, this includes the sum of $345 million, which was already paid to them by way of direct payments last year, and also the assistance of $250 million under the Dairy Farm Investment Programme. And now we're getting ready to distribute an additional $1.4 billion over the next 3 years in direct payments to the Canadian dairy farmers on the basis of the quotas that they hold. So that would be $468 million by the 31st of March 2021, $469 million in 2021 to 2022, and $468 million in 2022 to 2023. For example, an average farm with 80 dairy cows will receive an annual direct payment of around $38,000 for the next 3 years to come. The compensation measures that we have announced also include the payment of $691 million to poultry and egg farmers to compensate for the impact of the CPTPP agreement. Together, the hatching egg, turkey, and chicken farmers support over 140,000 jobs in Canada. We have promised to give these industries full and fair compensation for the losses incurred as a result of these agreements, and that is what we're doing. 2 weeks ago, we kept our promise to the 4,800 poultry and egg farmers of Canada. On the 28th of November, I joined with industry leaders to announce an investment of $691 million, which will be used to launch different programs that respond to the priorities identified by the Poultry and Eggs Working Group. We will be focusing on the innovation and growth of businesses. The programs will be designed after consulting with sector representatives. We're going to do our utmost to ensure that these programs are launched as quickly as possible.
With the different poultry and egg sectors, producers told us that programs should focus on investment in capital projects to improve the efficiency of operations as well as marketing support. Mr. Chair, this announcement was welcomed by the poultry and egg sectors. We know there is still work to do. Our government remains committed to engaging the sectors on full and fair compensation for the new NAFTA. We also remain committed to support our processors of dairy, poultry, and egg products for their market impacts. We have already invested $100 million to help Canadian dairy processors invest in new technologies to stay on the cutting edge. To date, 92 dairy producers across Canada have been approved for projects on new automated production and packaging equipment, new products and specialized training, and specialized training. Dairy, poultry, and other processors are also benefiting from the $77.5 million Emergency Processing Fund to implement changes to safeguard the health and safety of workers and their families, and improve, automate, and modernize facilities needed to increase Canada's food supply capacity. As well, for producer members of dairy, poultry, and other cooperative, in the fall economic statement, we extended the tax-deferred cooperative share program for an additional 5 years. This measure allows farmer members to defer taxes owed on the patronage dividends that they receive from the cooperative in the form of shares. This benefits both producers and cooperatives, which are such a vital part of our agricultural landscape in rural Canada. Mr. Chair, our support of our dairy, poultry, and egg producers is part of our overall ambition for a strong and prosperous agriculture industry. We know that strong farm businesses mean a strong economy, and that's why we're very focused on strong business risk management programs. 2 weeks ago, ministers from across the country met to discuss a number of key priorities for the sector, including meaningful reforms to BRM programs. Building on all the emergency supports we have rolled out this year to support farmers, our government stands ready to step up with improvements to the BRM programs. We're aiming for a 50% increase to the amount paid out to farmers through the AgriStability program. As a starting point, our government is looking to remove the reference margin limit, and we are prepared to look at further immediate enhancements to AgriStability that would apply retroactively to the 2020 year and ongoing. As well, I am hoping to find consensus on an increase of the AgriStability compensation rate from 70% to 80%. Taken together, these changes would increase the overall amount AgriStability pays out to farmers by 50%. While we have not yet found a national consensus on these changes, I hope we can find a path forward soon.
At the FPT ministerial meeting, we also discussed the fees that are charged by certain retailers and their impact on processors and consumers. We have set up a working group that will discuss together with industry to come up with beneficial solutions for all stakeholders in the supply chain. And we've asked them to put tangible measures to us by our meeting next July. So thank you, Chair, and I'd like to thank the committee for focusing on the poultry and egg producers. Today, more than ever, Canadians are choosing high-quality chicken, turkey, and eggs produced in Canadian farms. And I know that the industry has ambitious plans for the future, and they have the full support of our government. I look forward to discussing these matters with you. Thank you very much, Minister, for those opening remarks. So we're now going to start with our rounds of questions.
Leanne Rood for 6 minutes. Go ahead, Ms. Rood.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I'll be splitting my time with Mr. Steinle today. Thank you very much, Minister, for being here today. I really appreciate you appearing before the committee to discuss what we have at hand here with eggs and poultry. I just wanted to, you touched on the fact that what you've announced so far is compensating for hatching turkey, chicken, and eggs. But I'm wondering if you have plans or when we can expect an announcement for the processors who are also were promised compensation under these trade negotiations.
Yes, so we have proceeded with a clear announcement for the dairy, poultry, and egg producers. And our commitment is still strong with the processors. We just need a bit more time to complete the evaluation and move forward, but the commitment for full and fair compensation is still very strong.
Thank you. And so just going to ask a little bit about what you've already announced so far for poultry and egg compensation. It's my understanding from some of the stakeholders that they're concerned about the timeline on this, and when do you expect to begin receiving applications to the program?
We want to consult the committee, the industry, before we roll out the program. Actually, there are meetings already planned for next week, so we intend to put it in place as soon as we can.
When would you expect to be dispersing funds from the program?
I've made this mistake once, so I don't want to give you a precise date, but I can tell you that next week we are already starting the discussions. So the intention is to have the program rolling out, as quickly as possible.
Minister, would marketing and market development qualify under this program, or what about improvements to operational facilities?
We have started the discussion with the working group a little while ago after the signature of the CPTPP. They told us that they are interested in investment programs and support to market development. So this is the last discussions that we've had with them. This is why we want to meet with them again to see where we, if it is still their priority.
Thank you. One final question, Minister. You announced the program is to compensate for CETA and CPTPP trade agreements, but you have not announced any compensation for the Canada, US, Mexico trade agreement. What's your timeline for announcing CUSMA compensation?
Well, we have, you will remember that in August 2019, I had announced $1.75 billion for dairy farmers over 8 years. And acknowledging that producers needed predictability. This is why we have decided to shorten the time of payment for the compensation to the dairy farmers for CETA and CPTPP over only 4 years instead of 8. So we are responding to their request for predictability.
Thank you, Minister. I'm going to pass my time over. I understand, but we're short on time here. So I'll pass over to Mr. Steinle.
Minister, and I wouldn't want you to make another mistake, so I'm just going to ask some direct questions. Are there mechanisms in place to protect market share for Canadian producers if trade agreements not faithfully executed and Canadian producers fail to make inroads into European and Asian Pacific markets?
I'm sorry, I don't get the sense of your question.
So we're now subsidizing some of our producers because they've lost some of their market share.
Yes.
But they're supposed to gain some of their market share in the countries that we've made some deals with. So if there is not that gain of access in some new markets, are there mechanisms in place to ensure our partners are treating our producers faithfully?
Well, we are compensating our producers under supply management. Okay. And the signature...
Let me try again. So how much domestic market share have poultry and egg producers lost to European exports since the passage of CETA?
Nothing. From CETA for poultry and egg, it was not part of the agreement. And for CPTPP, the
CPTPP, yes.
And it hasn't started to come across the border yet.
Not yet?
No.
Okay. So if there are market access issues, what department in Global Affairs deals with those market access issues?
Trade.
And are there lots of direct links between trade and your ministry in agriculture to ensure they're working together and speaking with the producers and stakeholders?
Absolutely. We have constant conversation with the trade, Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada, and the industry.
So some stakeholders are saying, sorry, that one question left. So some stakeholders we've been in contact with specifically say that in South Korea, our beef is still being treated differently than American and Australian beef and still being tariffed.
Well, this is a very specific question, and if you want to share it with me with a bit more detail, I will be happy to come back to you, unless my deputy minister would have a quick answer for you. But if not, just send the question with a bit more details, and I'll get back.
Department.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Minister,
Thank you.
I could add quickly if you'd like.
So
Just
I'm sorry. I'm going to have to move to the
Okay.
next questioner,
No
and
problem.
there may be a chance for the next person. So, Mr. Blois, you have 6 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I'd like to thank the Minister for her participation here today before the committee. And really, Minister, I want to thank you for the work that you've done over the last couple of weeks, and of course, that led into the months of work that you've put in around making sure that this package was in place for our supply managed farmers. But you mentioned in your remarks also about our government's willingness to basically improve the programs under business risk management. And I just think that's extremely important, and I want to put that on record. I'll remind our honorable members that we're here talking about supply management. We talked about beef, or one of your questions was around beef, but I want to go to the poultry and egg compensation that was announced. This is different than what the dairy industry had been asking for. They were asking for compensation to their producers. This is actually mitigation measures, as the stakeholders have talked about. You mentioned that that's going to be a cooperation and you're going to be working with industry. Can you explain a little bit more about how that might look?
Yes, of course. So after the signature of the two first agreements, we have put in place working groups, one for the dairy sector, another one for poultry and egg. And these working groups have obviously consulted widely with the industry, and they came back to us with very different recommendation and hope in terms of the type of compensation they would like to have. The poultry and egg sectors were asking for investment programs and support to market development. So this is why we want to have, new conversation to make sure that it's still, where they stand, and to be able to develop and roll out the program as soon as possible.
And you mentioned it in your remarks to my honorable colleagues, but those are conversations that are being had right now with industry and government about how that money is dispersed over the next 10 years, correct? In terms of the best mechanism to put those mitigation measures in place.
Exactly, yes.
Okay, I want to move to the dairy sector. And of course, I've said many times in the House and on committee, being the member of Parliament for Kings Hants, we have a tremendous concentration of supply managed farmers. In fact, the largest east of Quebec. The dairy industry is a big one. And can you speak to what this compensation means in terms of the average dairy farm? Let's say, how much compensation is this to the average dairy farmer?
Well, we are talking about, we have confirmed annual payment of $469 or 68, depending on the year, $1 million for the 3 coming years. And for an average farm with 80 cows, it represents $38,000. And last year, the average was $28 million, with the first payment of $345 million that we have given as a compensation.
And this money goes to dairy farmers to basically support the investments that they see as best for their business. It comes with no string attached. They have the ability to invest and be able to use this money to help support their operations as they see fit, correct?
Exactly. They can use it the way they see fit. And it will be done the same way as we did it last year through the Canadian Dairy Commission. So they will very soon be invited to fill a form and to confirm their quota, so the Canadian Dairy Commission can proceed with the payment. And it should be as easy as it was, and even more easier than since they have already done that last year.
And that was my next question. Of course, farmers in my riding and perhaps elsewhere would be wondering about the timing. That is held with the Canadian Dairy Commission. They've been given the ability to move out that payment as soon as possible, and certainly before March 31st, I would presume.
Exactly. So I would encourage all our producers to pay attention to the correspondence they will get from the Canadian Dairy Commission very soon. They've gone through the process last year, so it should be even easier this year.
I want to talk about trade because, of course, supply managed system is a different way to be able to help ensure domestic production in our country. We just recently signed off a continuation agreement with the United Kingdom as a trade aspect. Of course, there was some concern about additional market access given. I know our government has been resolved in ensuring that no more market access is given. Can you confirm that this is the case for us and for my producers at home, and that'll continue to be our position in the days ahead?
Yeah, so we have made this promise of not giving any more market share on the supply management in the future trade deal that we're gonna negotiate and sign. And the one with UK is a good example that we have stood strong and not giving, not making any compromise on that.
And Ms. Rood had asked you about processing. Of course, in your remarks, you talked about some of the investments the government has already made as it relates to supporting processing and additional innovation on farm as well. In my 30 seconds that I have remaining, could you highlight some of that and maybe recap it for us as well?
Yeah, the first program we've put in place was $100 million for the dairy processors, yes. And they were also able to benefit from the $77.5 million emergency fund that we had put in place because of COVID for the processing sector.
Okay, Mr. Chair, I think that's my time. Thank you, Minister.
That's about it. Thank you very much, Mr. Blois. Thank you. Merci, Madame la Ministre. And
thank you, Minister. And now I'll turn to Mr. Perron for 6 minutes. Please go ahead. Yes, thank you. And good afternoon to everyone. Thank you to the Minister and the other witnesses for coming before us today. We really appreciate that. Minister, I'd like to put a question on dates. I've listened carefully, and you have talked about specific dates. Do you think there will be payments made before Christmas? Because your Deputy Minister had said that for the federal level there was no impact, whether it was paid before Christmas or after Christmas. But for farmers, that could make a big difference. So can we hope that this will get going in the next few weeks and start being paid out in December? Of course, we're talking about the dairy producers, the compensation, the direct payment compensations. It's the Canadian Dairy Commission that will be administering the payments. Mr. Endo and his team are working hard to make sure that this goes smoothly. Did that last year. It is already the 10th of December, however. I know they're going to do their best, and there's part of the work that's in the hands of our farmers as well. As soon as they get the invitation from the Commission, it's important to respond quickly. I understand that it's a yes, but it's going to be tight. Now, on eggs and poultry. You have announced an amount at your last press conference, which has been very much appreciated by everyone. But now we need to get more details, and we want to know when the programme is going to get going, because they want to be ready for the $691 million to be able to absorb this and compete with the products that are coming in from abroad. So will the programme be launched before the 31st of March? Well, as I said earlier, I don't want to give too specific a date and commit that error again, but we're starting with consultations already next week. And we're not starting from scratch. We actually just want to update the discussions, the detailed discussions that we already had a year and a half or 2 years ago, where they clearly explained their desires and the direction that they wanted to take with these programs. So we want to check this out with them and update things because time has gone by. And then we want to set up the programs as quickly as possible. Well, it's great to see that you're anticipating my questions, because I was going to say that we're not starting from scratch. Things have already been done. So we're hoping things are going to move ahead quickly. That's great. Let's turn now to processors. Now, processors, you're still reiterating a firm commitment. It's not a parody that I'm making here. That's what we've heard. But can we hope that there's going to be a specific announcement? Because processors are concerned. You've mentioned the 77.5 million that was the emergency processing fund for COVID. It wasn't necessarily compensation as a result of the trade agreement. So we have to keep all of this straight, and they need to get their compensation. So do you have an announcement for them? Do you have the aim, without giving me a specific date, do you have an objective to announce something after Christmas or at least before March for the processors? I cannot give you a specific date at the moment. The best I can do is to say that we do have a firm commitment. We've kept our promise for the two other groups, and we're going to do it for the processors as well. But I quite agree with you that the COVID programs are, of course, not compensation programs. That's not what we're going to claim. They will not be accounted for as compensation programs. So there's the 100 million program that was there for the dairy farmers. And then, of course, there's all the question of the dairy quotas. That's in parallel, but it is, of course, important for our processors, and we're very attentive to their wishes as well. Well, I'm happy for you to say that it's not considered as a compensation. You're really jumping ahead of me this evening. Perhaps we're getting to know each other better. Now, I'm going to talk about dairy processors in particular. You've repeated the commitments for eggs and poultry often in your speech. It does seem that you talk more about egg and poultry farmers, and that's fine. That's what we're talking about. But there's, of course, the dairy processors who are worried because given that the payments have been established for the producers, but they're afraid that perhaps they'll be forgotten and people say that the dairy side is finished off. Well, when I'm talking about the processors, I'm talking about all of the supply management products, the egg and the poultry and the dairy processors. Well, we're not going to have too many arguments but this evening. Well, of course, we never have arguments, but we do have discussions. Now, on CUSMA, do you have a specific timeline? It'd be great if it didn't take another 2 to 3 years because the impacts are going to be felt very soon. We know it's a trade partnership which is rather voracious. We saw that yesterday. Perhaps we'll come back to that later. But do you have a timetable for CUSMA? Could we not use these negotiations that have taken place for the first two agreements to then just add in CUSMA compensation and therefore step up the process? You will recall that the commitment that we'd made back in summer 2019 was compensation over an 8-year time horizon because we recognise that our dairy producers in that case need to have predictability. We've taken this commitment and we've condensed it over 4 years rather than 8 years so that they've got that predictability. Because you have to know that our teams are overwhelmed with all of the different emergency programs related to COVID. So there could be some delays in finalising the discussions on this and announce the exact amount. So it's not an unreasonable delay. I think that circumstances explain why there has been this delay, and we don't want to penalise them. So that is why we've decided to actually condense the first payments. Thank you very much to the Minister, Mr. Perron.
Minutes. Go ahead, Mr. McGregor.
Thank you so much, Chair. Welcome back to the committee, Minister. Good to see you. Just following up on what Mr. Blois was questioning you about. So you are quite clear that you and the Prime Minister have said that no more market access to our supply managed sectors will be considered. So you can confirm that.
I do.
Okay, so because the trade deal that I'm looking at is not so much with the United Kingdom, but with the Mercosur countries. And of course, they produce a huge amount of poultry. You know, if you look at the poultry production in Brazil and so on. So you can confirm that when Canada's at the negotiating table, that poultry is off the table, eggs are off the table, dairy.
Prime Minister Trudeau, Minister Ng, and myself have been very strong on this commitment.
Okay, well, that's good to hear. You know, the chicken farmers of Canada, I guess, you know, we have imported chicken from Brazil. I believe in 2018, we did import 11.1 million kilograms. There have been some concerns from the chicken farmers of Canada about the standards that those chickens are raised by. What is the government of Canada doing to ensure that those standards meet what we would expect with our chicken?
Yes, of course, we are following what goes through the border as closely as we can, and with the act and the regulation around safe food for Canadians, we have increased our capacity and requirements to be sure that what comes does meet the Canadian standards. And I know that yes, and you might be also talking about the La Poule de Réforme. Sorry, this is something, I'll just try to find my notes in English.
Spent hens, Minister.
The spent fowl.
Spent hens.
Fowls. So I can tell you that this is one of the priority that we have asked the border services to look at, and we are also investing in means in ways to be able to make the difference based on science, because it's not necessarily obvious. So we have to develop the tools to be able to control.
Yeah, thank you, Minister. Another really important
technical
issue,
English
of
on this
course,
file is a bit
with the United
weaker.
States comes with the issue of spent fowl. The Chicken Farmers of Canada, they have estimated back when I met with them in February that the amount of fraudulent labeling of poultry entering Canada from the United States can equal around $200 million a year. So can you give us an update on how our efforts are going to crack down on this problem? Because, we have just renegotiated our agreement with the United States. A certain amount of poultry is allowed to come into Canada, and that will increase. But of course, a lot is slipping through the cracks still. So how are we going to crack down on that?
Well, I wouldn't say it increased, because with the control we have put in place in recent years, it has decreased. And as I said, this is a sector that we have asked the Canadian Border Services to focus on, and we are investing in having additional means to make this control. And you know that we have the food policy for Canada that also includes a dimension on food fraud, and we have given additional capacity to CFI also to be able, to make more control around that.
Thank you. And then I guess maybe in my final question, as you know, we are again having a dairy problem with the United States, despite our best efforts to come to an agreement. Tom Vilsack is going to be the new Secretary of Agriculture under the Biden administration. Of course, he has been leading the U.S. Dairy Export Council. I'm just wondering, Minister, have you reached out to Mr. Vilsack to maybe congratulate him on his new role starting January 20th, and just maybe trying to get things on the right foot? Because he, of course, as the leader of the U.S. Dairy Export Council, has been a bit of a thorn in our side, but it would be great to maybe get off on the right foot.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will reach out to him, I think, when he's confirmed. No, I can assure, I'm very confident that the way we are proceeding with the TRQs are respecting our agreement with the United States. And we will follow the process. We will go through the consultation, and I'm very confident that we're doing the things the right way.
Okay, great. I appreciate that, Minister. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. McGregor and Madame la Ministre. And maintenant, nous allons passer à deuxième round.
And now, the second round, and we've got Mr. Lowe for 5 minutes, together with Mr. Epp. Yes, thank you. Yes, I'm going to share my time with Mr. Epp. Good afternoon, Minister. It's a real pleasure to have you here with us. I have a question on the compensation for the egg and poultry producers. I've spoken with them, and they don't necessarily want to have a check in the mail, but they want to have investment credit so that they can improve their productivity. And we understand that there is a strong relationship there with the Department of Finance. So are there negotiations and discussions together with your department and the producers and also with the Department of Finance to cover that angle? You do not need to have any concerns. We've worked a great deal already in the working group after the signing of the CPTPP agreement. So we've already got a good idea of what they want in terms of the investment programs and marketing assistance. So we're going to meet with them next week to update all of this. And that will allow us to develop the programs and implement them as quickly as possible. Now, that would be very relevant, Minister. Our egg and poultry producers want to get news, and that would be great news for them before Christmas, because there's many negotiations that have already been done. So to establish a program rather than sending out checks, I imagine it's something that could get going quickly. So that's my viewpoint. It'd be great to round off the year in this way with our producers. And then with the US and what happened yesterday, they're starting with dairy products. And of course, it's the supply management products that they are targeting. So are you committing today to protect us and that there will be no other concessions given away with the Americans and the Mexicans on the question of poultry and eggs? Well, the agreement is already signed, so there's not going to be other concessions. It's already been signed. Yes, but it is being challenged, as you know. Yes, I have full confidence that the way in which we have set up the TRQs in compliance with the agreement that we've signed. So you're going to stand strong? Absolutely. Now, we talked about the 77 billion earlier, my colleagues. For the processors, is that envelope going to be boosted? Because there is still a significant need, and we're not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel with the pandemic yet. Well, I'm going to give you a scoop. We've been able to add another 10 million to that program, the Emergency Processing Fund. So that's the 77.5 billion plus 10 million that's been added. And if we start to run out, you're going to add in more. Thank you in advance. Yes, we're following this very closely. And now I'll give the floor to my colleague, Mr. Epp.
Minister, good to see you again. If I understand the compensation package correctly, there'll be just under $70 million a year, so $691 over 10 years. I too have met with the egg farmers and the chicken producers, and they're very supportive of the monies flowing into this kind of a pot that would drive innovation and efficiency. If I can just bring some perspective to the numbers, though, these are the sectors that rely on barns that need to be heated into the season that we're going now, which we call a Canadian winter. There's just over 5,000 producers, and so following along the logic of my colleague, Mr. Blois, if you take those numbers of about 70 million a year, 5,000 producers, you're about $14,000 per producer per year. And I recognize that's probably not how the funds will flow, but just to give some perspective, it's an interesting coincidence that this 14,000 is about the same number that the Federation of Independent Business calculates that the cost of the carbon tax is the average farm. Chicken, poultry, egg producers would be higher users than average, again, because they're using barns. Do you believe that the funds, these compensatory funds, could be fully offset through innovation, through efficiency mitigation measures, which you've mentioned, to offset the cost of the carbon tax to these producers?
So I understand two different questions in your question. The compensation are put in place to compensate for the loss of market. And this has been evaluated following the work of the working group and the work of our team here at Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada. And we came to this amount of $691 million over 10 years for the CPTPP. This is one thing. And we are also, and you might probably have heard during the presentation of the fiscal, the FES, the fall economic statement, that we will be investing $98 million in different programs related to supporting farmers to be more efficient and to turn their operation greener. So there are other investment, other programs where the farmers will be able to apply.
Merci, Madame la Ministre. Thank you, Mr. Now, maintenant, Madame Bessette pour 5 minutes.
And now, Madame Bessette for 5 minutes. Thank you, Chair. And thank you, Madam Bibeau, Minister Bibeau, and your team, and also for that announcement on compensation, which means that we will have more predictability for producers, in particular in these uncertain times. I'm happy to hear that many producers are going to be able to benefit from this. According to the CETA, or after the CETA program was set up to help dairy producers and processors to improve their productivity and competitiveness and to get prepared for market changes flowing from this agreement. Can you indicate to this committee how this program has been received by the sector and how popular it's actually been? So that was the first compensation program that we set up. 250 million for the dairy producers and 100 million for the processors. And the aim there was to help them to invest so that it could be more productive, amongst other things. And then I'll just look, because I thought I had the number of projects that we were able to support with that program. I don't have the figure in my head, but it was quite a significant amount. And the discussions that we had after that with the dairy farmers said that they preferred to have direct transfers that was really based on their quota rather than investment program assistance, whereas the poultry and eggs farmers want to have investment programs. So we'll draw lessons from the investment programs that we did in the dairy sector now that we're setting up similar investment programs now for egg and poultry farmers. Thank you. Now, on the poultry and eggs producers, they're going to have their payments to support investment and market development issues. Can you clarify exactly what that means? And what will be the impact of this approach on them? Well, they're asking for investment programs. So, for example, if you take a farm that wants to invest in a better heating system, for example, or some type of equipment that will help them to be more productive. Now, I'm not actually a poultry farmer myself, but they're going to have equipment that will make them more efficient, more competitive, and more productive. So they'll be able to apply under this type of program and get part of the funding provided to be able to make these investments. Industry is also asking us to help them with the marketing side of things. That's on the basis of the last discussions that we've had with them that date a while back, and that's why we want to do an update on that. But I remember that in these previous discussions, they wanted investment assistance on the farms and also with market development. But of course, we'll continue now with these discussions with them. Thank you. I now have a last question. You've worked hard with your partners and stakeholders to get the compensation working. Can you talk about the reaction from industry? Yes, it was very well received by the dairy farmers in particular because we're giving them this predictability that they asked for. So we've committed originally to pay over a horizon of 8 years, and it's now reduced to 4 years. There's another 3 years, therefore, to come, and they know what the amounts are going to be for the next 3 years, and that's really what they were asking for. So they are very, very enthusiastic, really giving it a green light. And the poultry producers are happy too, but they're looking ahead to the details of the program. But I'm confident on the basis of previous discussions with them that the type of program that they're hoping for is the sort of program that we'll be able to provide them with, and it should meet with their satisfaction. Thank you, and thank you also for your work. Thank you, Madame Bissett. And Mr. Perron for 2.5 minutes. Thank you very much, Chair. Minister, this afternoon you're saying lots of things that I really like hearing. You're going to draw lessons, you've said, from the first modernisation programme for the dairy farmers, because it's true that we had some negative feedback when it first come, first served. And they were asking for these 10-year programs, and I've understood that you've heard what's been asked for in that environment, so that's great. Now, in terms of CUSMA and the deadline, can we expect that by next summer that something will have been unblocked in terms of negotiations, or is that asking you too much? No, that's asking me too much, says the Minister. Okay, fine, that doesn't take up much time. That's not perfect, but we'll keep pushing on that anyway. And I'm happy to hear my colleagues talking about the complaint that was officially made, or there was an investigation asked for the US about the import quotas, and I'm happy to hear you saying the same things I think, namely the work that you have to do is to compensate for the TRQs, and we agree on that approach. And I'm totally in agreement with the agreement that you've signed. You're going to stand your ground. Very happy to hear that. But we do know that this trade partner always wants a bit more. And at our last meeting, when we met, you said that the C216 to protect supply management had the merit of needing to be studied, and I hope that's still what you think, and I do hope that we'll be able to get this adopted in third reading so it can be studied at the committee stage. There are certainly issues around this bill as the way in which it's drafted at the moment, so we'll certainly have an opportunity to discuss that in more depth. Now, of course, I understand that we do need to read this in detail now. I don't have much time, but I just want to clarify a couple of points. First of all, this tax-deferred program, we're very happy about that, but the sector was rather concerned. We could have told them earlier. You've said that it's going to be for 5 years, but why could we not put it on permanent footing rather than making people really nervous every 5 years? Well, that is a file that falls to my colleagues in the finance department. Over the last 9 months, you know that we've been very busy with these emergency programs that have taken up all of our space. So renewing it for 5 years is already good news, I think. Thank you very much, Mr. Perron. And now, Mr. McGregor.
Let's go ahead, Mr. McGregor.
Great. Thank you, Chair. Minister, apologies if I might have missed this question earlier from one of my colleagues, but just under the CUSMA agreement, when it comes to you deciding on how the compensation measures are going to be rolled out for chicken and egg producers, like, are you worried about any pushback from our American counterparts on that compensation? Like, I'm just referring to Article 3.6.1. Just whether domestic support measures have no trade distorting effects or effects on production. Is your government concerned that the Americans might push back on any future compensation announcements?
No, I mean, we have a team here that is very experienced in terms of following up on our trade agreements, and I'm I don't see any concerns. We will be able to follow on our engagement and commitment to compensate them for the market.
Okay.
Lost.
Okay, thank you. And then the other question, when I was meeting with the Chicken Farmers of Canada last month, they were also worried about, the second wave and the impact on processing facilities. And they were worried that if there wasn't enough capacity, they might have to move to on-farm processing. Is your government in conversation with them about that, and whether there might be any assistance offered to producers themselves to help them with on-farm processing?
Okay. Maybe Annette might want to add, but I mean, this is not something that falls under the federal jurisdiction. I would be tempted to say that the provinces might have a word to say on that. But Annette, do you want to add?
I guess just financially though, because the federal government has offered financial compensation for processing. I'm just wondering if it had to go to on-farm processing. Is that something you would consider? It's just a concern I heard from them. Okay,
well, the idea behind the compensation is to compensate for a market lost, that they have lost. So whether they fall under the producers or processors, this is maybe something that it will be interesting to pay attention to while we design the compensation program.
Merci. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. McGregor. Merci, Madame la Ministre. And now, Mr. Steinle for 5 minutes.
Thank you very much. And sorry, Madam Minister, I probably confused my first question in the first round, but talking about CPTP, and I just want to make sure that I have my numbers right. the market share loss was 3.25 for dairy, 2.3% for eggs, 2% for turkey, and 1.5% for broiler hatching, eggs, and chicks. Can one of your officials just confirm that those are the right numbers?
I can confirm. So just want to be sure the number that you gave for chicken. I got all of the other ones, but just chicken.
1.5% for broiler hatching, eggs, and chicks.
Was 1.5 and chicken. Chicken. What was the number you gave?
Eggs was 2.3.
Okay. Yes. 2.3. That's right. Yeah, and 1.5 for broiler hatching. That's
Okay,
right.
Perfect. So we're on the right page. All right. So just my question.
This is at the end of the process. So it's 5 years. It comes to these number after 5 years.
After 5
That's
years.
right. Yeah.
Perfect.
That's right.
So is there right now a strategy in place working on into the future, a vision of how we can regain some of this markets in other countries for our producers going forward?
Well, this is why we want to work with the sector on market development. So they are asking us to use a part of the amount of money we have for compensation on market development. And more widely, I mean, we are working a lot in collaboration with Minister Ng, Minister of International Trade, to diversify our markets, to open up new markets. So this is something that is always on our radar. We want to increase our export to $75 billion by 2025. So we're taking every opportunity.
Yes, exactly. And I don't think that work can start too soon. So that's why the question was, is there that development in process and working with our chicken and turkey and broilers and dairy producers? Are there, where would be the next, you think, opportunities to grow that market development?
Well, when we talk about the milk, egg, and chicken under supply management, they are not sectors that are mainly oriented on export. It's the idea behind supply management. Nevertheless, we are making, research and working on innovation to see if we can find new markets for products that would we have in surplus after our domestic consumption.
Okay, thank you. I just would end with the fact that if you keep on giving up market shares and there's less and less of the opportunities for our producers to make money, then we have to keep compensating them. So I'll give my rest of my time to Mr. Epp.
So I'll pick up just on your last point there, just to clarify then, the marketing initiatives contemplated then are purely domestically focused. Is that correct?
This is a discussion we have to have with the industry.
Okay. And I guess what's concerning then is a recent CTV report. Dr. Sylvain Charlebois, who actually testified here at committee several weeks ago, was basically quoted estimating, food costs are rising 3 to 5% this year, specifically referenced chicken potentially going up 7%. I'm going to go back to my comments earlier about the impact of the carbon tax on this sector, $14,000 roughly a year per average producer. I mean, the sector works with supply managers of those costs being rolled into a cost of production formula. No doubt some of that rise in the cost of production formula is being driven by feed costs, but they're incurring another $20 million of carbon tax just on the regulated rail costs this year. That's rising in 2 years to $33 million. Can you comment about your estimation of the effects of rising food costs, driven by the carbon tax, either directly to the producers or on the feed they're buying?
Well, I think that what we are doing to help people, face the increase in the cost of food is normally through different social program like Canada Child Benefit. But during COVID, we realized that more families were facing challenges to feed their families. So this is why we have invested up till now $200 million to support food banks, $50 million to buy surpluses from our farmers and processors to distribute them, another $25 million for northern communities. So this is the way that we are helping Canadians facing increase in prices.
Thank you, Minister. I'm
Madam
going to
Minister. Thank you,
switch
Mr. Rep.
tax for a little
Thank you,
bit.
Mr. Rep. Sorry, Mr. Rep. We're out of time. So now, Mr. Blois, I understand you'll be splitting your time with Mr. Lewis. Go ahead, Mr. Blois. 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My point that I wanted to make, and Mr. Epp, of course, is the Member of Parliament from Leamington, and he went a little way in terms of correcting himself. He talked about the price on pollution, basically created a number to suggest that there'd be about $14,000 worth of compensation to producers. We know that that money's not necessarily going to producers, but then said any increases under a price in pollution would offset that. And he did correct himself in saying that the cost of production study is levied such that this would not impact farmers. So I wanted to put that on the record. Minister, if you want to comment, you can. And also just to Mr. Steinle, he mentioned, of course, supply management. He was talking about export market. I don't know if he certainly knows that supply management is mostly domestic policy. But then he went and said, well, we shouldn't be giving this market access away. I know he wasn't part of the government that did that under CETA and CPTPP, but it was actually the member from Abbotsford that was the minister at the time that negotiated that way. So, Minister, I'll let you comment if you want on the cost of production, but I wanted to make sure those 2 points were on the record for my honourable colleagues.
Well, I think you have said it all. I don't have much to add. You have provided a summary of the situation quite rightly.
Okay, well, those are the 2 points that I wanted to make sure were on the record. I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Lewis. Thanks so much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. Minister, thank you for being here. I appreciate this and all the hard work you've done through this pandemic. It's wonderful to have you here, be able to ask these questions. I know you see that we're getting the same questions over and over from our panel, which we get quite a bit of cooperation here, which I'm very proud of between parties. We're all asking the same questions. We're all looking out for our agriculture sector, and I hope you're getting the same kind of cooperation with the provinces and territories as you work, because we're all working on the same ideas. I just wanted to expand. You talked about compensation. Originally was an 8-year horizon, and now we've condensed that support over 4 years. Can you just tell me, explain to our committee here why that decision came to be and how that can help with predictability?
Well, you will remember that during the summer of 2019, we had announced $1.75 billion for dairy farmers, with the first payment of $345 million. And because of COVID, we just, didn't have the time to, we had to put all our resources around the emergency programs, and we realized that it will take us a bit more time to conclude, the amount related to the new CUSMA. And this is why we have made this decision of shortening the delay of paying out for the 2 first agreements to give predictability to the farmers, because we understood that it was something very important to them. And then they understand and they are reassured now. So if it takes a bit longer to finalize the discussions around the CUSMA, it's still reasonable for them, because they already know in advance what they will receive in terms of compensation for the next 3 years.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. And then just in talking to some of the farmers in my region here, can you explain which of the sectors would be receiving compensation as far as monetary, and which sectors are getting more of investment based? And with that compensation money, I believe you mentioned it before, but it's probably bears repeating. Are there any conditions that what they can use that compensation for, the sectors that are getting monetary compensation?
So for the dairy farmers, it's a direct transfer. They can use the money the way they want. It will be distributed to them through the Canadian Dairy Commission. Similarly, the same way it has been done last year. So it should be even easier, because they know the process, and the Commission is also more experienced now to proceed with this direct payment. For the poultry and egg producers, they are asking for investment programs and support to market development. We need to have further discussions with them, because these discussions have been done a while ago. So this is why we're going to meet with them again next week. And our intention is to roll out these programs as soon as possible. And it will be, I don't have the details yet. It's a work in process, but normally when we talk about investment program, it's a cost sharing when they make investment to improve their productivity or their capacity.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate you taking the time here and taking the time to listen to feedback from the farmers themselves who can benefit from this. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis, et merci, Madame la Ministre. C'est toujours un plaisir de vous recevoir.
Thank you, Minister. It's always a real pleasure to have you here to give us an update on the different programs and consult with the committee. And I hope that we will see you in the year to come. And in the meantime, we wish you all the very best for the Christmas holidays. So we're going to suspend members and we will come back on the other Zoom link. You've all got the password and we'll see you on the other side, so to speak. And then we will have half an hour of committee business. Thank you and all the very best. Happy holidays.